Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A few hours ago, it was announced that Nick Aldis would serve as the temporary GM on WWE Raw tonight. The SmackDown general manager is filling in for Adam Pearce, who made the announcement via Instagram. Pearce, who will not be in Kansas City because he's resting, made it clear to the Raw locker room that Nick Aldis should be listened to and respected tonight. However, the courtesy and hospitality he is showing his fellow GM could backfire. Since taking over as GMs, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce have constantly been looking to get the upper hand over one another. Tonight's episode of Raw could provide the perfect opportunity for Aldis to do so. How? Well, he could look to steal a few key superstars from the Red brand. So with that in mind, here are 3 WWE Raw stars Aldis could steal for SmackDown. One of the first superstars Nick Aldis should consider approaching is Penta. Currently, the Luchador seems to be preparing for a storyline with Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day. That being said, a move to SmackDown would be incredibly interesting. After all, his brother Rey Fenix is currently performing on the Blue brand. So with that in mind, WWE could look to reunite the Lucha Bros, and as such, have Penta make the move. The world title picture on both Raw and SmackDown is up in the air right now. Having won the undisputed WWE Championship as a free agent, John Cena, at least as of this writing, seems set to perform on both brands. However, WWE could look to establish one world champion on each brand once again. With that in mind, Nick Aldis could try to steal Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion, for SmackDown. Assuming his rivalry with Gunther is done, the Blue brand would be perfect for Jey Uso. Not only is his brother Jimmy Uso there, but he could also get involved with the new bloodline, which would make for some interesting storylines. Speaking of Gunther, the Ring General is in huge trouble on Raw. After attacking both Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on Monday, the former World Heavyweight Champion has been suspended. Additionally, his actions will be addressed tonight by one of the victims in this story, McAfee. However, what if Gunther could get away from all these problems? What if he approaches Nick Aldis and asks him for refuge on the Blue brand? It would certainly be an ideal situation for both parties. On one hand, Gunther escapes all his problems on the Red brand and gets a fresh start on SmackDown. As for Aldis, he introduces a main event and world champion caliber superstar to the locker room. At the end of the day, though, this is nothing more than mere speculation. In a stunning development that has the WWE Universe buzzing, Nick Aldis is set to replace Adam Pearce as SmackDown's general manager starting this week, and the Blue brand could be on the verge of a massive shakeup. With the draft season looming and fresh rivalries needed to ignite Friday nights, Aldis might already have his sights set on stealing some major names from Monday Night Raw. The balance of power between the brands is always delicate, but Aldis isn't exactly known for playing it safe. If the past few months have shown anything, it's that Nick Aldis will do whatever it takes to elevate SmackDown to even greater heights, and that could mean raiding Raw's locker room for some of its brightest and most talked about superstars. As SmackDown prepares for a new era under Aldis' leadership, fans are speculating wildly about which Red brand competitors might find themselves donning blue in the near future. One of the top names Nick Aldis could target is Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior has had an intense year on Raw, filled with heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption. McIntyre's brutal, no-nonsense style fits perfectly with the grittier vibe Aldis has been trying to foster on SmackDown since his original appointment. Now that he's taking full control without Adam Pearce alongside him, Aldis may be more aggressive in recruiting a powerhouse like Drew to bolster SmackDown's main event scene. With Cody Rhodes currently dominating Raw's top storylines and the World Heavyweight Championship picture packed with contenders, McIntyre's opportunities could be limited if he stays on Mondays. On SmackDown, however, McIntyre could easily step back into a world title feud, possibly even positioning himself against whoever holds the undisputed WWE Championship by the summer. Plus, a change of scenery might be exactly what Drew needs to finally complete his long journey back to the very top of WWE. Another Raw star who could be on Nick Aldis' radar is Becky Lynch. Fresh off a grueling WrestleMania season and with rumors swirling about her next big chapter, Lynch would be a blockbuster acquisition for SmackDown's women's division. The man has been one of the most consistent draws in WWE for nearly a decade, and her presence would immediately elevate the Blue Brand's roster. With Bayley currently reigning as WWE Women's Champion and Charlotte Flair reportedly eyeing a return later this year, adding Becky Lynch into the mix could lead to dream matches and money-making rivalries that fans have been clamoring for. Lynch versus Bayley, Lynch versus Bianca Belair, Lynch versus Io Sky. SmackDown could become the true home of women's wrestling once again if Aldis manages to lure Becky away from Raw. Moreover, Becky's star power and mainstream appeal would help boost ratings, merchandise sales, and live attendance for Friday nights, which is undoubtedly a major part of Aldis' strategy moving forward. Finally, Nick Aldis could be targeting Damian Priest as a potential steal from Raw. Priest's stock has skyrocketed over the past year, especially after his stand-up performances at WrestleMania and Money in the Bank. As a key figure in Judgment Day, Priest has proven he can be a dominant singles competitor, as well as a team player in one of WWE's most popular factions. However, with internal tensions occasionally brewing within Judgment Day and rumors of a potential split continuing to swirl, Priest might be primed for a solo run sooner rather than later. SmackDown could offer him the perfect platform to step out of the group's shadow and claim his spot as a top-tier singles star. With Nick Aldis looking to create fresh rivalries and fresh championship contenders, adding someone like Damian Priest, who brings size, athleticism, and a natural charisma, would be a massive win. Priest could easily slide into the Intercontinental Championship scene or even set his sights on the top title, offering SmackDown a new heel or babyface depending on how WWE chooses to present him after the move. Beyond these three names, there's a growing sense backstage that Nick Aldis will not be shy about reshaping SmackDown in his own vision. Sources close to WWE management have indicated that Aldis has pitched bold ideas for interbrand trades, new feuds, and even the introduction of fresh match stipulations exclusive to SmackDown. If that's true, the WWE Universe could be in for one of the most exciting periods on Friday nights in years. Fans have already seen hints of Aldis' philosophy during his first stint sharing duties with Adam Pearce, emphasizing athleticism, hard-hitting matches, and characters with a clear edge. Now that Aldis is flying solo, expect even more of that energy, and expect him to pursue big names to make it happen. The timing couldn't be better for a SmackDown roster refresh. With WrestleMania 41 now in the rearview mirror and WWE building towards SummerSlam and beyond, the next few months will be critical for establishing new stars and storylines. Nick Aldis has a golden opportunity to strike while the iron is hot, bringing in familiar faces who need new challenges while also spotlighting rising stars who might otherwise get lost in the shuffle on a crowded Raw roster. In particular, Drew McIntyre's ongoing frustrations, Becky Lynch's need for a new mountain to climb, and Damian Priest's potential solo breakout all present ready-made stories that could unfold beautifully under Aldis' guidance on SmackDown. Nick Aldis himself understands the stakes. During interviews over the past year, Aldis has spoken openly about wanting to leave a real legacy in WWE, not just as a performer, but as a figure behind the scenes who helped shape the next generation of success. Becoming the sole general manager of SmackDown offers him that chance in a way few other roles could. By handpicking stars like McIntyre, Lynch, and Priest, Aldis would be planting the seeds for years of main event matches, WrestleMania moments, and unforgettable television. Fans often talk about the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era with nostalgia, but the reality is that eras are defined by bold moves and visionary leadership. Nick Aldis seems ready to make those moves, and SmackDown could very well be on the brink of a new golden age because of it. There's also an intriguing personal element at play here. Nick Aldis is no stranger to competition, having made his name in high-stakes environments like the NWA and Impact Wrestling before joining WWE. He knows what it means to bet on yourself, to seek out the biggest fights, and to want to stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best. In many ways, his reported targets from Raw reflect that mentality. Drew McIntyre fought his way back to WWE relevance after being released years ago. Becky Lynch famously dubbed herself the Man after being overlooked for much of her early career, and Damian Priest clawed through the Indies and NXT to finally reach the main roster spotlight. These are competitors who understand struggle and ambition, just like Aldis. By bringing them to SmackDown, you wouldn't just be building a stronger brand. He'd be building a roster of kindred spirits who could help him redefine Friday nights for years to come, of course. Nothing in WWE is ever certain until it happens. Trades can fall through, storylines can change on a dime, and injuries or outside factors can always disrupt the best-laid plans. But if Nick Aldis gets his way, the WWE Universe could soon see some of Raw's biggest and brightest stepping through the SmackDown curtain to the sound of thunderous applause and jaw-dropping surprises. In a business built on moments, Aldis looks poised to deliver plenty of them, and fans should buckle up, because Friday nights are about to get a whole lot more interesting. As WWE continues to evolve, the general managers on each brand have more influence than ever before. With Triple H overseeing creative and giving his GMs more autonomy, Nick Aldis' vision for SmackDown will likely have real teeth behind it. That means fans can expect aggressive recruiting, unexpected shakeups, and maybe even brand new alliances and rivalries that nobody sees coming. In the ruthless game of brand warfare, Nick Aldis is officially all in, and Raw's roster might soon look very different as a result. Stay tuned to WWE programming in the weeks ahead, because the Aldis era on SmackDown is just getting started. Whether it's Drew McIntyre battling for the undisputed WWE Championship, Becky Lynch tearing down the house in epic women's division wars, or Damian Priest unleashing chaos in main event brawls, one thing is clear. Friday nights belong to Nick Aldis now, and he's just getting warmed up. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.